Welcome. I'm so excited that you're here for our mini masterclass on how to define the metrics that matter to your business. This is that foundational step in knowing the how behind just having a whole bunch of metrics out there that are available, how you define the ones that matter to you. If you dialed into the penny FaceTime, you would have got the top three that matter to a business type that are quite generic, but every business is unique. So that's what we're breaking down today, giving you that foundational how to getting to the metrics that matter. So let's dive in. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Brooke Huckabee. I'm the founder and head marketing analytics strategist here at Penn Analytics. I'm ex-corporate marketing analytics specialist and analyst. I've been in marketing for 12 years, with 8 of those being focused in marketing analytics. I shifted into marketing analytics because I was the marketer who felt overwhelmed by data, yet so intrigued, and I knew the value in it and I wanted to know more, but I never had the time to work it out. So for me, I shifted and I pivoted to specialize in marketing analytics because I didn't want to feel overwhelmed by data and I knew there was so much potential in it. But I was that marketer that felt, like I was marketing for the sake of marketing. It was all too hard, but I wanted to know what was working. So that's why I'm so passionate now that I know in helping business owners and marketing specialists get started, know the how to, share my knowledge, my experience, what I've learned along the way, and as Penny would say, help you unleash the possibilities and the value that your data holds. I want you to take a minute, maybe pause the video and just ask yourself, which one are you? Are you A, I've heard about marketing analytics, but I'm not really sure what it is, and I don't use it in my business yet. You might be B, I want to track my marketing efforts and I know I want to know, but I don't know where to start. It all feels a bit overwhelming and too hard. You might be C, I'm dabbling, I'm jumping into Google Analytics, I'm manually calculating some of my metrics, yay, but I wish I could be more efficient and effective in the process. Or you're D and you love marketing analytics and you're flying and it's part of your business as usual everyday process. What defining this says is your next steps, and it helps you take those next step approaches. You might be feeling like it's all too hard. What metrics should I be tracking for my business? You're a bit frustrated, confused, overwhelmed by it all. You might have tried it all and it's still not working, and you don't know where to start. The reason that I share these feelings that people have is because I want you to know you're not alone. These are the most common feelings and challenges that I hear when I speak to people about marketing analytics. But marketing analytics in today's digitally focused world and marketing world is no longer a nice to have. It's a must have for all businesses. So I want to help you get started. I want to kick off with an insight because businesses in Australia that leverage their customer data outperform competitors by 85%. Yet, only 53% of businesses in Australia are using their customer data and their marketing data to make informed decisions. This was a finding by McKinsey. What this says to me as an insight is that there is so much opportunity if only 53% of businesses in Australia are using their data to inform decisions in marketing, but yet businesses that are outperforming their competitors by up to 85%. So much opportunity for you to get that competitive edge and get started today. We at Penn Analytics created a maturity scale to help people understand and kind of progress through the pipeline of marketing analytics. Most people that I talk to are sitting at the crawl or walk stage, and we work to get you up and build your knowledge and expertise. Today, we're talking about the foundations. So you're likely in the crawl or walk stage, and we just want to get you sitting and walk. You're looking at your data. You know those kind of key metrics and conversion points. You're tracking against your SMART objectives, but you don't need to have the in-depth knowledge of the deep dive analysis just yet. We're just getting you started. What is marketing analytics? It's a question that I'm asked all the time. So this is how I see marketing analytics. It's about knowing what's working. It's about removing the guesswork. It's about feeling like you're not marketing blindfolded. It's about using your data, whether it's your numbers or your insights, to understand who your audience is, what channels reach that audience or those audience groups, what messaging resonates, what drives engagement, what drives leads and sales. Your data will help you, or your marketing analytics will help you to make smarter decisions, focus your efforts, your time, your investment where they matter most. It's about not wasting your time, your money on things that don't work. So we want to shift from gut feel to knowing what's working in your business. So the best way I can describe this is marketing without data is like building a house without a blueprint. It would be chaos, wasted resources, rooms in wrong places. You wouldn't have a structure. You're building a house blindfolded, basically. Thanks, little picture of Penny. But marketing with data or building a house with a blueprint or a plan, it gives you clarity. It takes away the overwhelm. It gives you a clear plan and a solid foundation. So all of a sudden, when you market with data, you know what's working. You can target more efficiently and effectively. You can maximize your resources and optimize them. You're building on a strong foundation, not shifting sand. And I promise you, when the penny drops and you see that value in your data and what it can bring to your business and your marketing, you will wonder why you didn't start sooner. It is the most common thing, or one of the most common things that I hear. So how do we do all that? How do we get all that goodness? How do we start to tap into that data? At Pen Analytics, we designed a 5-step framework to guide you through step by step, because that's how we remove the overwhelm. A step-by-step approach creates clarity, it creates structure, and it helps you get started. Today, we're going to focus on the first 2 steps, which are defining clear goals and objectives and mapping your measurement. Why? Because success needs to be defined to enable measurement. So we start with the foundations. When we set business goals and smart marketing objectives, our business goal is that top level goal of what we want to achieve. And I'll take you through a bit of a cheat sheet of common business goals that I see that you can kind of just take and run with. Your smart marketing objectives moves the needle on your business goal. It helps you achieve it. It's that drill down to get more specific, measurable, make sure it's attainable, relevant, and timely. So if we're looking at business goals that you want to achieve, you might be looking at things like increasing revenue, expanding market share, increasing your profit margins, enhancing customer satisfaction or improving customer retention, growing brand awareness and filling that top of funnel. You might be looking to launch new products or services. There are so many in the list of goals, but these are probably the top 10 that I see most commonly. From these goals, we're then able to drill in against each one of them and define our smart marketing goals and objectives. One thing that I hear is most people struggle to define these smart marketing objectives. How do I get the inputs? How do I know exactly what it's going to look like? So I want to do that together, because if it's something that you've struggled with, let's break it down. Let's look at how you get to that point. Primary goal, let's look at increasing revenue. It's one of the most common. If you want to increase revenue by 15% compared to the previous quarter while maintaining a minimum 25% profit margin, what do you need to do? What smart objectives are going to support that? Now, just a call out, I've included profit margin in this goal because I really want to seed in your mind the importance of not just having a revenue goal. Profit needs to be embedded in it. It needs to be monitored and it needs to be understood. We're not going to dive into it today because this is when we're looking at top level. But I just want to seed it that often I see clients go, I want to increase revenue. And then what happens is they put all this effort into marketing and investment into marketing. And what happens is, revenue increases, but profit margin decreases. And so our return on investment isn't there. Just to seed in your mind and just to think about. So if we're looking at increased revenue, say we were making $12,000 in the previous month and we want to get up to $15,000 for a 15% increase, that's how we get to $15,000. But a smart marketing objective for this goal might be, hey, I want to achieve 3,000 website visitors over the next 3 months to achieve 60 sales from my online store to generate that $15,000 in revenue. If I'm a service-based business, maybe I'm looking to achieve 650 website visitors to my website per month over the next 3 months to achieve 10 sales at $10,000 in revenue per month, because that's my 15% increase as a service-based business, hypothetically. But if you're sitting there thinking, but how did you get that? How did you get those inputs? How did you know the revenue, the number of website visitors? Let's break that down. I always say if I had 8 hours to chop down a tree, I would spend 6 sharpening my axe. Penny might be hiding a bone and spending 6 hours digging the hole. Preparation is key. So defining our benchmarks is really important. I base it off 3 benchmarks. Benchmarks give you something to measure against. Industry benchmarks give us an indication of how we're faring in industry. In 2024, service-based websites are getting an average website conversion rate from visitors to leads of 2 to 3%. E-commerce website conversion rates sitting about 3 to 5%. I chuck in cart abandonment rate because it's such an important metric for e-commerce stores and it adds so much value to analysis. In 2024, cart abandonment rate sits at 70% as an average. If you're in Woolworths or a grocery store and out of 100 people shopping, 70% of people just left their cart full or with items in it and walked away, that would be quite a confronting sight. In our online store, we have the ability to nurture our customers through, talk to those pain points and better support them through the process. Our own benchmarks are ones that are based on our historical data and that we will use as inputs to help us calculate our smart marketing objectives. Setting defined benchmark thresholds, they're calculated from our own. So I'm going to take you through each of these now. If we're a product-based business, e-commerce, and we know that our revenue target is $15,000, we then go, okay, well, what's our average order value been over the last 3 to 6 months? Say it's $250 of average transaction order value. We're going to go 250 into 15,000 because that's going to tell us that we need to achieve 60 sales. And all of a sudden, we're building out that smart objective because we're using the $250 average order value, which is our own threshold, and which is our own benchmark, and we're calculating it to work out the target sales threshold. Then we're going to say, okay, well, of average website visitors to our website against total sales over the last 3 to 6 months, that was at 2%. So let's take that owned benchmark and create a threshold to work and monitor against, which is website visitors required is 3,000. All of a sudden, we've got our smart objective. Achieve 3,000 website visitors per month based on 60 sales, based on $15,000 in revenue, calculated from our own benchmarks. And you can get that from Google Analytics. You can manually calculate that from your CRM. This is all data that you can easily get at your fingertips and calculate manually. It's really important when we look at defining our smart objectives and getting into measurement that we look at everything against our buyer's journey. I've mapped this as a reference slide. I won't dive into it today because we don't have the time, but looking at awareness through to conversion and advocacy and how each of these key metrics sit, because this defines additional metrics or additional objectives that we want to bring in to better analyze our data, better improve. If you're a service-based business and you set your revenue target at $10,000, we go, okay, what's our average service order value been over the past 3 to 6 months? $1,000. 1,000 into 10,000 is 10 sales. Great. But we know that our website isn't generating sales for a service-based business. So let's have a look at what is our average lead to sale conversion rate. And if of leads that come through to our website, 80% convert to a sale, we're going to calculate backwards and go 10 divided by 80. We need 13 leads to our website. Great. Same as what we did with e-commerce. Now that we know the leads, because that's that conversion point on our website, what of the number of visitors that have come to our website from our own threshold, our own benchmark, over the last 3 months or 6 months, you can choose that time frame. I would go 3 months because it's more recent. How many website visitors do we need? 13 divided by 2% as our website conversion rate. That's our own benchmark. We need 650 visitors to our website. Great. That builds out our smart objective. This is how we do the first 2 steps of that P&L marketing measurement framework. And this slide, back to it. Just again, putting that against the buyer's journey for you to reference and look at later. We always map before we measure. These are now the metrics that matter to our business. And we know that these are the tailored metrics for us that we're going to look at, we're going to monitor against, and it's going to help us take those next steps for analysis to dive in. But it's also the metrics we want to surface in dashboards and we want to configure in the tools that we're looking at. I hope this approach makes sense. If you feel like you're not quite there, go back, rewatch it, and let it seed in your mind and just start to think, give it a go, start testing out, building out some smart objectives, and then looking at the metrics and then trying to see, do you have that data available? What's next? So Once we've defined our clear goals and objectives, once we've mapped our measurement, we then want to look at what analytics tools are going to collect that data, what configuration is needed to make sure we're getting that data, visualizations, how are we surfacing it at a really top level so we can analyze it 5 minutes a day max. See, are we hitting the thresholds that we've set? Yes, great. No, okay, what do we need to dive into? And then we move into this test, learn, and optimize state where we're just testing, learning, optimizing, diving in, but we know where our marketing is at. We know what channels are driving because we've got our conversion rates configured in Google Analytics through GTM. There's so much we can do. We're not diving into that today. We will focus on the how. We've defined the how. So now I want to share with you a little bit about us. And at Pen Analytics, we are here to help. We're here to help remove the guesswork. We're here to take you to that knowing stage, whether it's in our one-to-one coaching or our done-for-you analytics services where we jump in and do it for you. It comes down to the approach that you want to take. We've just opened up our next intake for our 5-week coaching program. If this is something that you want to understand more about, I would love for you to get in contact, have a chat, see if it's the right approach for you, and we can work through that together. So let's get you started. Let's get you self-serving, empowered by your data and your marketing analytics, and remove that guesswork and take you to knowing what marketing efforts are giving you the best return on your time, effort, and investment. So book a discovery call if you would like to chat more. Apply for the coaching program that's just opened up if it's something you think you're interested in. If you're not sure, just get in contact. I'm always here to chat, and I could talk about this all day, and I can see that I have slightly gone over. So thank you so much for attending. Just keep in your mind, if you can't measure it, you can't optimize it. The sooner you configure your marketing analytics, the sooner you'll be collecting that data. If it's not configured, you're not collecting it in an efficient way to be able to slice and dice against, new versus return users, what channels are delivering the best results at each stage of your buyer's journey. There's so much that you can see, and there's so much potential in it, and we haven't even scratched the surface. So thank you for joining us. I hope you have the most wonderful day. And if you are not connected with us on Instagram or LinkedIn, please connect, stay in contact, and I would love to know what you thought about the masterclass. But have a wonderful day, and we will hopefully chat very soon.